In this garden quickie, I'd like to talk to you about really early peonies. A couple of these are species and one is a garden variety. It's May 20th in my Zone 5 garden and the peony's been flowering for a couple days. Now that's quite early. Most of my peonies are just showing a bud and won't flower for at least another 2 weeks. That's one reason I like these early guys. Let me introduce you to Molly the Witch. Now it does have a proper botanical name, but nobody can pronounce it, so we all just call it Molly the Witch. The petals are very pale yellow, and the center is really nice and bright yellow. Makes a nice combination. What's really special about this plant is the seed heads, and they're almost nicer than the flowers. I grew this plant from seed, and it will take you about 5 to 6 years to get a plant this size from seed. But this is one variety that you can go out and purchase. Molly the Witch. I grow it here on my shade garden. It's at the edge of a woodland. It gets part shade. I don't worry about watering it. It's quite drought resistant. I think it would do fine in more sun. I wouldn't give it less sun than this though. This is a species peony called obovata. It's got this nice pale flower, pink in the center. The flowers will only last about a week, but it's a beautiful plant out of flower. And again, the seed heads on these are fantastic. This is another one of my seedlings. It's a pretty big plant now, and it's growing in part shade. I think it might do a little better with a little more sun, but this just happens to be a nice place for a peony, so I'll probably leave it here. Its fragrance is a little spicy. The other reason I like these species peonies is that the stems are nice and strong. You don't have to stake these guys. A lot of the garden peonies have so many petals that the head gets heavy and then it starts to droop on you, so then you have to get stakes. And that really doesn't look that nice in the garden. Look for peonies that are singles or just semi-doubles and that have nice strong flower stems. That way you have to do less maintenance. Now, if you do have peonies in the garden that need to be staked, I have a number of solutions for you, and I've made a separate video on staking peonies. Let's go have a look at the Mother's Day peony. It's flowering too. From all of my garden peonies, this is the first one that will flower. I'm pretty sure it is a hybrid. It's a single petaled or maybe a semi-double petaled flower. It's always open for Mother's Day, and that's what it's called, Mother's Day peony. I have no idea what the real name is, but quite a few of the gardeners in this area have it, and we all call it Mother's Day peony. It's a smaller plant. It doesn't seem to make a lot of new stems. Right now it's sitting in full sun and gets sun pretty much the whole day. Flowers last for about a week. Now this plant does have a bit of problem late in the year. The leaves get all spotted with a fungus and then they just die off. And what I do is I just cut it to the ground at that point. Next spring it grows up. The leaves are nice and clean right now, no fungal problems. But for whatever reason, this guy doesn't do well late in the season. That's okay. It's not a fungal problem I have to deal with. Just learn to live with these things. You gotta learn to enjoy the garden. Have fun.